Hello and welcome to Straight Until Disney, a Disney deep dive and analysis podcast, where each week I, your host Jonathan, takes a deep dive into the history of each Disney film and the legacy that they left behind. I'd like to remind you that you can follow me on Instagram at Straight Until Disney Pod, and you can email me at straightuntildisneypod@gmail.com. I'd like to just apologise for not being on last week with a podcast episode, as I was a bit under the weather, and we are back. And I'm once again joined by Tom Taylor, because we are going to discuss the Toy Story 5 trailer that dropped last week. Hello, Tom.
Back again.
You're back.
It's gonna, I feel like it's going to get to the point of where, like, I'm just going to be on here all the time.
Yeah. At this point, you're my co-host when you can get on.
Yeah, when I'm available.
Might well be. If you remember, a few weeks ago, we sat and did the Super Bowl, and we were expecting a Toy Story 5 trailer. And we got a Toy Story 5 snippet of Woody in a Levi's commercial.
Great to that.
It was interesting. We were sat waiting for it, and to be fair, Disney basically gave us like the snippet of Mandalorian and Grogu. Then we got an official trailer, and then they've done the same with Toy Story, which is interesting. And today we are going to dive into everything from the trailer. We're going to sit and dissect the trailer. We're going to go through our initial reactions, initial thoughts, dive into some spoiler territory towards the end. And I promise I will say spoiler warning when we get to it. I want to deep dive into the potato head debate at the moment, which is an interesting way of calling it. But we're also going to have a quick mousekeeping section. So, first of all, Zootopia 2 won the BAFTA for Best Animated Film. Yay! I don't think it's going to win the Oscar, so I kind of hope I'm wrong and it does win the Oscar.
Imagine it does, that'll be amazing.
I also kind of think it'll be kind of prominent if Disney do win it for a number of reasons, just because we haven't really seen Disney win Best Animated for a while now. I don't think, off the top of my head.
Imagine the chance of it actually winning Best Film. Like, is a Disney film ever won Best Film?
I don't think so, because I don't think Disney's ever won.
In the comments can put down who, if it's Disney have ever actually won like a major or like Oscar.
Please do, because we might be wrong. We're not experts.
They haven't won like a Best Film and Academy Awards, have they? Either. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, so it was really lovely to see Ginnifer Goodwin was at the BAFTAs. It was lovely to see her and Josh Dallas there. By Once Upon a Time heart going, they're still here. They're still married. Snow White and Prince Charming are still married in real life. Thank God. Because I'm not convinced there's not going to be a Once Upon a Time reboot soon.
No.
I'm the amount of times that Instagram account is active is giving me real anxiety. I don't want to.
I mean, speaking of reboots, so Hannah Montana's getting a reboot.
Is it, or is it just a special? Is it just 20?
Hannah Montana's getting a new reboot for like the anniversary. I think it's 20th anniversary of Hannah Montana.
Yeah. I know it's the 20th anniversary. I know she's doing the special, but I didn't think they were actually doing a full show. I thought it was just.
It's a special, a show, or a film. It's one of the three. I know.
Yeah.
She's been seen on set in a blonde. Miley Cyrus has been seen on set with a blonde wig. Basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Something's happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy that that's 20-year-old. We get older than Hannah Montana.
Older than Cars.
Yeah, it's starting now where we're like, oh God, we're older than these. Like for years we've been like, yeah, we're younger than this. now it's starting.
Older than this.
It's interesting, but yeah, BAFTAs, great thing. I think the next thing we'll just we're not going to quickly just gloss over this, but Villains Land, um, they're going back to the drawing board with what they want to do because they want to make it bigger, bolder, grander. What we thinking?
I'm hoping personally, because obviously they've pretty much confirmed the Maleficent roller coaster inside the
Yeah,
castle. I'm hoping that they do make like an Ursula boat ride.
yeah.
It would it would even be quite cool to make a villain's equivalent of like Tower of Terror.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
I don't know what they would base it off of. Maybe trying to think. Jafar wouldn't work.
Tell you what you could do. At the bottom could be the underworld. You could have
Yeah,
you could have it dropping in and out of the potentially. I can see
yeah,
it.
yeah. 80s Tower of Terror, right? That would be cool.
Mm, I could see it doing because I was saying before. Um, I kind of so I don't know how many people like know about House of the Mouse, but there was a House of the Mouse villain special years ago where you'd have all your Disney characters interact in like Mickey shorts, and they do like the specials for Halloween, Christmas. But I think you could do a Forbidden Journey equivalent, obviously not Forbidden Journey, that you
Yeah.
have at Universal Harry Potter. You could do a version that's like similar or I don't know how different for the villains, and you have each section be a different villain's like room, lair that you could have the so there's a drop. I can't remember the drop in the one in Forbidden Journey where you drop and it's the Maleficent dragon.
Hmm.
Then you have the dragon fight up, and you have the dragon blows smoke at you, and then you flip. I think there's something in it where you could really inside a villain castle because Villain's Land is such a blank. It's a blank slate, and
Hmm.
they wanna have this big dark castle.
They could potentially, if they wanted to, make a kind of like a Kingdom Hearts ride
Yes, yes.
where they've got like the darkness of it, like and the beings, because it has all the villains in Kingdom Hearts.
That's not a bad shout. I can see that. I'd like that because I feel like what they need to do is they need to cater, but not cater, but there is such a vast library of Disney villains. Yes, there are more iconic ones, as we know, Evil Queen, Maleficent, Cruella, Ursula. You're gonna want to have them going around the parks, around that area, and having them be more accessible in meet and greets. But I do kind of I want to see your Claude Frollo. I want to see some of those like more obscure ones that get a bit of love in this land that you're not going to see across the rest of the parks. And I think what they need to do is they need to tap into that potential and build from there instead of just pigeonholing them in having a list that they're going to use.
I think it'll be a good idea to kind of explore, especially some villains that a lot of like kids especially won't recognize. So like for
Mm-hmm.
example, like is it Prince? Is it Prince Louis? No,
That's
the one from Robin Hood.
Prince John.
Prince
Yeah.
John, yeah, Prince John from Robin Hood could even like be there.
Mhm. Yes.
Um, they could have even like Strong Bowley from Pinocchio.
Yeah, because they do have them walking around at times throughout
Yeah,
the parade that I've found.
they could
So I think
even
love
because
that.
technically it's Disney, they could even do like Davy Jones.
Yeah. And let's not be fair, but Pirates isn't that far from where Villains Land's
No,
gonna be.
easily put Davy Jones there. They could easily put Blackbeard there. They could easily put
Hmm.
uh, they could even put Barbosa there and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I do think and I think as much as this is Disney is for kids, I feel like this villain's land kind of needs to be catered towards. I don't want to pigeonhole them and say it must be for adults, but I feel like it kind
I
of
feel
needs to be.
like it has to be scary enough to where a kid would want to go into it, but scary enough to where an adult can still be a little bit scared of it.
Yeah, I think then, and I think really hope that this balance of them like not doing it, but what I think they need to find the balance of make catering it to a lot of people. But I feel like when I say it needs to be more catered towards adults, I feel like the villains are very much more appreciated and adored by older fans because one, they've grown up with them, but two, they now understand where they come from a bit more than I do think younger kids do, which isn't a bad thing. But I kind of
No.
feel like if you want to cater this land, like I'm not gonna lie, I feel like your your Oogie Boogie Bash and your Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties really run on the adults going to them
Yeah.
doing this.
Because it runs on the adults recognizing like the villains, because obviously kids are going to recognize it the hero more than the villain.
Mm,
But even then, like as a kid, when I was little, the one person I used to recognize more than anyone villain wise was like Captain Hook. So like
mm,
you'd all like maybe that was just me, or like there'll be a kid who will recognize a villain.
yeah. And I kind of think a lot of younger kids do actually love villains. And I think personally, the more interesting, the more fun. But I kind of think they need to tap into this potential because there's so much they could do with it. There's so many villains that you have that kids don't necessarily always know exist and watch. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'd love a bit of Madam Mim in there,
Mm-hmm. You
having
can
her
even have
just
the villain from you can have the villain from Meet the Robinsons.
yeah. Because kids
That would be
don't know them
right.
what villains.
That would
I'd
be cool.
see them. I'd love a bit of Horn King thrown in there.
Um, it's kind of a villain, kind of not, the one from Moana.
Yeah,
Like
I don't know.
what you could have is like, do you know how at Epcot they've got like the Moana walkthrough thing?
Yeah.
They could have that, but like the fire one
Yes.
as like the alternative version of it.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I think another idea that I've talked to you about is that we're chatting about is the Villains Land needs to feel interactive and immersive, and I would love it if they had parts of the park where you could practice magic spells. You could have these more entertainment, and I think one of the really cool things to do would be to have the Queen of Hearts is soldiers that walk around in a similar vein to the stormtroopers do in Galaxy's Edge. But each point of the day, they pick somebody different from the parks, and then they get their head cut off. Obviously, that wouldn't happen, but it would be a really fun bit of entertainment and immersiveness. And you could even have a bit of Corella having a fashion show in a bit
Yeah.
of this element. You could have, I don't know if you could do this, but you could have Dr. Facilier reading cards as entertainment.
Oh, that would be so. That would be. Uh, that would be amazing. Obviously, it's one of my favorite villains they've ever made,
Mhm.
and if like obviously it won't be like a realistic card reading, obviously,
No.
but it'd be like a good, fun, jokey thing.
Because I don't know if you've seen I don't know how much of the Disney, I can't remember if it's the Disney Treasure, the Disney, one of the new ships, I can't remember what it is. I'll put it in the comments when I remember which one it is.
It
But
might
one
be,
of the
is it not
ships,
the
it's
Disney Wish?
one of them has an entire villains section, and I know DSMY Newcast has done the video on it where it's like, is this the blueprint for what they're going to do? And they have a Corella bar, piano bar, which I kind of think
Oh,
is cool. And they have Dr. Facilier doing something, and I can't remember what it is, but I just want a bit of Dr. Facilier in Villains Land, because we don't have him in the Tiana ride, which is stupid.
Oh, that was the bit that like really won't like confuse me in that way. Like of all of the things they needed to add to that
Hmm.
ride. Fair enough, you've got Prince Naveen right at the end,
Hmm.
but you have to have Doctor Vasilis in there somehow.
Yeah, I, 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 I still don't get it to this day. I get that what they were trying to do. I get what they were trying to do. It was going to be tied to the TV show that now it's never happening, but it's really annoying because I think this might just be a general assumption. I think most Disney fans were expecting each of the drops to be through voodoo magic, and it'd be dark.
Yeah, or at least like the last drop is um what's her name? The one in the bayou.
Mama Rodi.
Mama Odie, yeah. Like taking you back to being a human again right at the end, like they do in the ride now. But the first couple of drops should have been like the indoor drop anyways, should have been Dr. Facilities turning you into a frog.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. I totally agree. I don't get it. Before we dive into Toy Story, a quick got in the news about Villains Land is we also got a quick update about Monsters Inc. that I've only just seen today, which I'm kind of really excited about. Is the fact that they're saying less screens, more animatronics, which is what we want.
Mm-hmm. Is this for the Monsters Inc. Ride?
I think I think this is for both lands.
Yeah. I still don't know how they're going to do the Monsters Inc. ride because there's so many like concepts online of it. But when you're looking at it, you think in order to cover up a ride like showroom that big, you're gonna need a lot of room, or they just make it screen so like it looks bigger than it actually is.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen, but there is a video from animators and not animators, Imagineers. There's a video and I'll send it to you, but
Mm,
it's them discussing how they're going to do the door, the
right.
opening bit of. So
Okay.
there is
Oh,
an idea there.
it's like the latch and it goes up.
I believe so. They're gonna try and replicate it as
Mm,
much as possible they can that I've seen
yeah.
online. That I'm like, do you know what? Do it because we've been asking for this for a
Yeah.
long time now. Especially for this is like a ride of our generation.
Oh, like sorry. To like
Mhm.
have like a ride that's a door is like something that I feel like's always been talked about for years. Like probably since Monsters Inc. first came out. And
Mhm.
it's like we're getting the door ride. When are we getting the door ride? But it's probably taking this
Yeah,
long because of how hard it's probably how long and difficult and expensive it's going to be to not just do it, but do it so it's safe.
yeah. I think an interesting bit that's Monsters Inc. related is Mike and Sully's now not closing till 2027 in
Oh well.
California. So that's still going to be there, and I think you're going to see some things. But what I would really love is that do you know the this is just a hope and want for this ride is that at the end of the ride you see not Mike, you see Sully shutting the door, Boo's door. I kind of
Yeah,
want that in there,
like shutting Boo's door right at the end. Oh, that would be quite cool.
and that's how you exit the ride.
Yeah, or you exit through Boo's door.
Yeah, that's what I think they should do. Exit through that door.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. And I kind of think that would be so cool. And I'm so intrigued to see some more concept art and more stuff at D23 this year because they're gonna show it.
Oh yeah. There's no way they're not going to show at least like some sort of like little sketches and ideas and stuff like that.
Mm. I'd really love if you had, in the same similar vein to Villains Land, if you had some of the monsters walking around. I would love a Celia May animatronic or meet and greet character at
Yeah.
somewhere.
What
I
I
think
would
there's
love,
opportunities to there. Hmm.
I would love to see
Hmm.
a not necessarily a meet and greet, but like, do you know how in Galaxy's Edge where they've kind of got the little interactive thing?
Yes.
They'll have that, but you have to find his name was in my head now. I've forgotten the one who turns invisible.
Oh,
Randall.
Randall.
Like, you've got to find Randall around the little land.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I would love to see some of the. I'd love a 20. I need a 2319 reference somewhere in that
Yeah,
land.
I need
Do
I
you
need
know,
the
like in
I need the dining place that they go to.
yeah, that's going to be the restaurant. So
Yeah.
you've got the ride.
Hmm.
There's a theater building that I'm not sure what they're doing with yet, but Cyclops sushi. Not it's called Cyclops sushi in Magic Kingdoms, but Harryhausen Hire is the
Yeah.
restaurant for Monsters Land.
Mm.
Because what I would find hilarious is I don't know if it's too similar to. Do you know it in Woody's lunchbox? You have the whole freeze for when aliens
Yeah.
come in. Have a similar, or I don't know how they could do it, but every time 2319 is shouted, something happens.
It's maybe
Mhm.
it could be like something like Rainforest Cafe. Do you know what? Like every like couple of minutes where like the storm, like the rainstorm kicks in.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Like every like not every single like couple of minutes because I feel like that would get really annoying when you're trying to eat and you're just hearing like alarm bells going off. But like
Mm,
they could maybe even have like a dessert or a drink called 2319
mm. There
and have
needs to
it
be
so where
something.
when it gets presented to you, it's like an alarm bell.
Yeah, do you know like in the diner where you only get your ice cream if you eat your dessert if you eat your vegetables. I can't think of what it's
Yeah.
called. The Do you know when they got a whole can? That's the kind of thing they should do with that.
Or it's like because in
Which would be
Disneyland Paris, in the Marvel Hotel, they've got a cocktail
hmm
right around Doctor Strange, and you've got to do like this to open the box to get the
okay.
cocktail. Maybe something even like that.
That would be so cool. There's
Mm-hmm.
just so much that I'm like, I really want this land to be like so immersive and awesome. I need, I need the traffic lights with with the monsters as you
Yeah.
opening. I need them because they're epic,
Mm-hmm. What
and I wouldn't
they need
mind my
Monsters Incorporated sign, but they need Mike Wazowski's face to be covered by the Monsters Incorporated logo.
yes,
Which I'm annoyed that they haven't done that in the border from where they're building the Monsters Inc. land, where they've got Sully and Mike in the photo and his face isn't covered up.
yeah, yeah.
Because
I
that would have
don't
been
get
such
that.
a niche, like, cool reference where they've got like the photo of Mike and Sully and then like the concept art for the land, but then Mike's face is covered up by something.
Yeah, that would have been so cool. Like I wouldn't mind seeing Mike's car somewhere as a nice little Easter egg.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, Roz needs to walk around with the CDA members.
Mm. Yeah.
You can do something like that. I just don't want it to be too similar to Galaxy's Edge with the stormtroopers, but I kind of would
Yeah.
love. You have like a um maybe you have a desk in the in one of the shops, because there'll be a shop or something somewhere where you have, do you know Roz's bit where she does the paperwork and you're like, you have to give in the paper,
Yeah,
like a little thing. Oh, I tell you what you could do. Do you know, like in Epcot, where you have all the country sticker things and you go around?
yeah,
Have something like that, but you can only get your stuff by giving it to Roz.
yeah. You've got to get, but it's like it's probably going to be this one like an animatronic behind like a window, and you've got to put it like in an envelope thing, or to like a
Yeah,
cast member
and
who
she
puts
just
it
has
in an envelope.
parts.
Yeah,
But yeah, I definitely want to do like a full like not predictions, but a full hopes and wants episode about both monsters and villains land, because there's so much you can do with both of them, and I really think that they just sat and realised and went, there's so much potential in these lands of what you can really
yeah.
do when it comes to an Imagineering and interactivity.
The only thing I really wish they'd done was done the villains land in Disneyland Paris and have Maleficent's castle, because you'd have Sleeping Beauty's castle, then you have
Yeah,
Maleficent's castle as well.
that would have been so cool, and have it
Mm.
here, because a lot of the villains are from Europe.
Yeah,
So would have been
I
really
mean it does
cool.
help that
I,
most like storytelling things like Snow White and stuff like that were written in like already originally set in Europe and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I kind of really would have liked that. Would have been so cool, and I think maybe if there's a third park in Paris, they could do that at some point,
Mm.
because that feels inevitable. Especially this is just a thing I saw the other day. It's the saying that Maleficent 3 is going to be the scariest film they've done in a while, which I'm like, okay, interesting.
I can never really get into
So
Maleficent films. I've tried the first one. I haven't got
mhm.
around to watching the
No,
other stuff.
mhm. Yeah, I've watched the first one. The first one's all right. The second one I've never watched.
Mm.
No, but yeah, I think in terms of mousekeeping, that's everything we've got currently. That's been like big newsworthy stuff. There's been like small construction updates, like a wall's been removed. There's some, what we know is the a wall's been removed. We've got new railings in places. Piston Peaks is going well currently. The Encanto ride
I was gonna
is
say
seemingly
what's the
moving
updates on the
steadily.
was bit.
Yeah, haven't heard much on Indiana Jones. Encanto seems to be coming along further than Indiana Jones, so that might open beforehand, but we'll see how it
That
goes.
most of the stuff at Indiana Jones will probably be all inside the showroom for the
Mm,
time being. Gonna keep the outsides quite
yeah,
similar.
yeah. I think that's why Encanto is moving so quickly. Is because is it like a new building they need to put in?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just keep an update on that as we go. Mhm.
Indiana Jones is probably moving very quickly. It's just a case of that you can't see it.
Yeah. Before you know it, it'll be open, and we'll be like, "When? What? When was it built?" So I think it is time to discuss the Toy Story 5 trailer, which just dropped on Thursday. I think it was Thursday. I'm sure it was. It was.
Oh, Thursday or
It
Friday?
definitely.
It
It
was
was one of
last
them
week.
because yeah, I'm sure it was last Thursday because I remember being sat on me. I was sat on Instagram and the poster appeared on Instagram on Pixar's thing, and I thought, hang on, if you've released the poster, this must mean a trailer. So went straight to YouTube. There it is. It was like, and then I messaged you and it was like, it's not a drill. It's here. So, what are your first thoughts and reactions to it?
my first reaction to it, to be honest, is I feel like they've done the villain very well. Like they've made it clearly very hateable.
Mm.
Because I feel like with other villains in the past, like for example Lotso, it's hard to get annoyed at a pink bear that smells like strawberries. It's quite difficult to do that.
Hmm.
But an iPad, like it obviously, like right at the start, the first interaction you get with the iPad, like sentient, is talking to Jesse, and it's obviously clearly it's listening, but it's ignoring her at the same time. It's like obviously very um, it's like very what's the word for it? Like it can do so much more than what a toy can do, and it's just kind of like showing off.
Mm. Yeah,
And
I
then
definitely
Jesse's
agree with
like,
you. I think it's really.
yeah,
Hmm.
and then
Hmm.
Jesse's like, even listening, it's like I'm always listening, and then repeats it all back, and then repeats it all back again in Spanish. It's like what the hell?
Mm. Yeah, I think it's. I think for a villain, I think it's really cleverly done. That's an iPad, and I think as much as people were like, we don't need another Toy Story film, I do think that this has been cleverly crafted, and they've really thought about how to make this film relevant. I genuinely, when I remember first hearing about it, I was like, okay, this is interesting if it's done right, and it looks like it's been done right.
Yeah. Even like right at the start of the trailer, you see like Bonnie's still playing with the toys right at the start, and I love.
Mm.
We were discussing this before recording, like the bit where
Hmm.
Forky and I'm presuming it's Knifey. I'm presuming um,
According
is getting
according to the cast, it her name is Beverly.
Beverly. Oh,
Yeah, her name is that. Let me just find it. Her name is Bev. Hang on, I'll find it. Her name is Karen Beverly, apparently.
Karen Beverly, right? Well, Karen
Yeah.
Beverly. Obviously, Bonnie's playing with the toys, and they're getting married,
Hmm.
and they used style. They kind of tease the art style that they're going to be using for future Pixar films. For example, the one with the cat. I can't remember the name of it though. I forgot. I've completely forgotten the name of the film.
Gato.
Gatto. Yeah.
I think I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
When do Northerners ever pronounce things correctly, Jonathan? How?
I know. I know. I'm leaving that in.
Please do.
I agree with you on that sequence. I love the "you've poisoned the water hole" reference with "you've poisoned the
Yeah.
what." What? You've poisoned the maid of honor, which I find hilarious. Is Rex?
Mm-hmm. That's funny how Rex is the maid of honor.
I know this film has been crafted so beautifully, and even from this one trailer, there's so many references that we're going to discuss throughout the trailer because there's so many things that I was like, I've only just caught on watching it like a third time, like when we just watched it today, where
Mm-hmm.
you're seeing these little small details that fans are really going to appreciate that you've been watching since the beginning.
Yeah, and it's
Hmm.
like the little. What I
I,
did notice, considering I'm
mhm.
wearing the aliens, I didn't see many aliens in the trailer.
Well, according to the cast list, the little green men will appear because they did well. We definitely know they're in it because they were in the teaser trailer. Do you know the one where
Right.
the first one where it showed? So when they were, because I remember watching that trailer going, "Is Ham in Toy Story 5?"
Yeah.
because he's the only one that wasn't in that teaser that you know from the main ones that aren't Bonnie's toys that survived in Toy Story 3. But you know
Yeah,
what I mean. It
yeah, yeah.
was like
Like the toy
is Ham not
soldiers
in
and
it because yeah they leave. Because I know Ratzenberg hasn't been in as many Pixar films since, so I was a bit like, is he going to be in it? And he is for the trailer. I was like, thank God.
yeah. It's one of them like more like recognizable voice actors.
Yeah, because I'm like, when we do get cars for eventually, and you can't have Mac without Ratzenberg. You can't have Ham with. There's certain characters that you're like, you couldn't. This character can't be voiced by anyone else.
He's also like the Yeti in Monsters Inc. as well, which is hilarious.
Yeah, the Yeti. He's in. I can't remember who he is in Nemo. Um, he's in it. He's the Underminer in The Incredibles. One of the yeah. I think one of the like the most clever things of this film, as much as fans are a bit, I think after this trailer, I think fans are less icky about it in terms
Mm.
of Jesse being more of the central focus of this film. Because personally, this storyline, and we'll touch upon it later on when we get into a bit of spoiler territory, is this film wouldn't work with Woody and Buzz as it would with Jesse in the story that they're telling.
Yeah, it's like when you think of Toy Story, the three main characters you kind of think of as Woody, Buzz, Jesse.
Yeah. And I think I remember with four, people were asking why has Jessie got such a small role? Because she's not really in Toy Story 4 a lot. To be fair, a lot of them aren't. Like
Yeah,
they whereas in the original three as much, but it's much more understandable because the story was a bit it wasn't in the rooms that they were in. So you get it to a point,
mhm.
but I can understand why they were like, we want more, and you're getting it with this film. And then people were a bit like, but where's Woody and Buzz? And you're like, this story wouldn't work because their character
Yeah,
arcs are very much past this. And this is going to bring up a lot of old memories for Jesse in terms of being abandoned and not being played. So you really got this sense of this story only works if it's told right, and I'm so glad that it's being told right with the right character to get that emotional reaction.
yeah. I feel like especially with the the bits that are a bit more of like a spoiler in the
Hmm.
trailer, like the bits that
Yeah,
you see in the oh Jesse, it's like it's very hinting of that this is a very Jesse oriented story. Which, to be fair, I feel like Jesse kind of deserves because she's been in what three out of the four Toy Stories now, if you're not including the newest
yeah.
one, and it's always been
Hmm.
centered around. I feel like it is time for Jesse to have her sort of her story be the center, like
Mm.
her be the story.
I also think there's some going to some of the other points that are in the trailer. I love there's a Wild Like the Wind bullseye that felt very reminiscent of the airport scene at the end of Toy Story 2. There's them jumping on the car, which felt very Toy Story 1. So I really love that you're getting all these older references in it. I love that the Woody return feels earned and it isn't just, oh, he's back
Yeah.
already. You are going to see him. You are going to see him on his own for a bit, and then he's going to come in.
So he hasn't just like randomly just like appeared
Mm.
back for no reason.
No, there is a genuine reason of you seeing what the technology is also doing to toys that don't necessarily have an owner outside as well as in, and I really like that kind of level. And there's one of the other things we're going to chat about in a bit about the Buzz Lightyears, which I find
Mm-hmm.
really epic and cool. And I've got a theory about that that I think would be so epic if it does happen, but I don't know if it will. But I really
Yeah.
love that there's all this level of we know who these characters are. We're going to really delve into and develop them further and really use the history of these characters to tell a unique and dynamic story that is relevant for our times. And I really love
Mhm.
that Andrew Stanton has thought about that, and it doesn't feel like we're telling a sequel for a sequel's sake. We're telling a really good story that deserves an audience.
Yeah. I feel like it is going to be a very like, if you've been a fan of Toy Story for a while, you're going to absolutely love this film kind of film.
Mm, I genuinely agree. I also think I really hope that the poncho is a reference to Disney fans. So it's like
Yeah.
that's us. In the parks
And
when it rains, we wear ponchos.
speaking of like that sort of scene, it's like it quite hits home. I can imagine for a lot of especially older Toy Story fans, maybe ones
Mhm.
that grew up with Toy Story 1 and Toy Story 2. Us being kids who grew up with Toy Story 3, um,
Yeah.
that's probably made most people born after before 2000 click off the video already. Um,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
um, more of a sense of like the fact that Woody's now balding is like a
Mm,
little reference. He is one of the older toys out of the group, and it's showing. It's like the little
yeah,
reference of he is an older toy, like in terms of like how long he's been a toy for.
yeah, yeah. There's only one man who can fix that. The man from Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
Where is Jerry? But yeah, talking of Toy Story 2, I have a I have a theory that I've only just thought about when we were rewatching this trailer for this episode. The Buzz Lightyear army, which remember when this was first idealized, I was like, what on earth? Like, how is this gonna affect the story? And there's a line from Buzz where he says, "We're gonna need help." Now, if the leader of this Buzz Lightyear army is not the Buzz Lightyear with the Star Command, um,
The power belt.
yeah, the power belt. If it is not him leading that army, and it's all the Buzz Lightyears that were in Al's toy barn, I don't
Mm.
know what they're doing. Because that would be so epic if it was.
As long as it's the main one from Toy Story 2, because obviously you can see in the trailer that these buzzes are very high tech, as like you can see like the glowed like symbol on the front of them, where it obviously shows like it's a lot more advanced than what the buzz from Toy Story, like the buzz we know, the one from Toy Story 2 are. Um, maybe just probably might be the case of like obviously because Lightyear the film is based around what Andy's seen to buy Buzz in the first place. Maybe he's obviously
Mm-hmm.
there's continuations of Lightyear that has happened in that universe to where they've felt the need to make more toys.
Mm. Yeah, I definitely agree. And something I'd love that we saw Al's Toy Barn, or whatever happened to Al's Toy Barn, because it feels like if you're gonna do a film about this age of technology rising, and we know that Toys R Us has kind of got a bit of a resurgence now because it's in the UK. You can find it in TJ Jones, which was WH
Yeah,
Smith, in certain ones. For any of the UK listeners, that's if you want to go to Toys R Us, you can go there.
yeah,
But in that we kind of saw with that is that Toys R Us went out of business, out of due to bankruptcy. So could that have happened to Al's Toy Barn, and you get this really abandoned Al's Toy Barn? And I wonder if that could like become a haven for toys that don't
Yeah,
have these owners now.
potentially, to be fair.
Hmm. Which would be so cool. And you just have the chicken man. Where is the chicken suit?
Yes, need the chicken man back.
We need that man back. And I really love that this film is bringing all these toys together to stand in combat against technology. And I don't know how the film's gonna end because I actually can't really work out that bit, and I'm kind of really glad that I can't work that out because I can really
I,
enjoy what the ending feels like.
I do hope the ending of the film does bring it a little bit. I think I mentioned this to you before I started recording, where I
Hmm.
hope that there's a reference to Andy towards the end of the film, because obviously Andy was a massive part of the first three Toy Story films,
Hmm.
and I'm hoping that there's a little bit of like an idea in my mind where Bonnie's done with playing with toys. Obviously, technology's a thing now, and Andy comes back as a full-on adult and has a family of his own, and that
Hmm.
he's have the toys back to then give to his child, and then that's the ending of the film, where basically it's like the toys
Yeah.
will forever on in Andy's world.
Hmm. I'd love that. I kind of really hope that that is how it ends because I feel like it'd be such a nice conclusion to these films. And I know there's little inklings that there might be more, but I kind of really hope that five really naturally concludes this really big story that's been going on for 30 years now.
And what would be really cool is obviously there's always like a little thing that all the Toy Stories used to do right at the end of the film, where it would have a wide shot zooming out of the house
Mm,
as Andy's given his kids Woody and Buzz and all the other toys. It zooms out the house and it slowly plays like a piano version of "You've Got a Friend in Me."
yeah. Yeah. I'm really glad that we know Randy Newman's doing the score. That I was
Mm,
worried about that, and then I was like, oh, thank God. Because you can't really think of these films without his score.
yeah, like that score is arguably one of the most iconic Pixar I've ever had, and it's one of the more
Hmm.
recognizable. It's so popular and so well known.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just brilliant, and I really think that this is the like not the end because they're always going to live on with
Mm.
toys and merchandise, and Toy Story Land is going nowhere in the parks at all
Oh
because
no,
it's
no.
one of Disney's biggest assets from Pixar.
Mm.
But I kind of really hope that this is the last film, and you can still do other things like with Disney Plus shorts and do other stories with them.
Hopefully, there's like a renaissance of kids after watching this film who start use like going and playing with toys again instead of playing with
Hmm.
iPads.
Oh, 100% agree. Hmm. I really do hope that we see this
Mm.
because that's what we grew up with. We didn't,
Yeah,
to an extent, we didn't have what kids have now. Like we
no.
had like small things, but we still played with toys. Like Christmases were, I've got about 20, 30 die-cast cars to play
Oh,
with for the next year.
I got about a whole full roster of wrestlers as a kid for Christmas and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I kind of really hope that we delve into this, and I think we'll have a quick chat about the cast that we have confirmed for Toy Story, Toy Story 5, because there's a few names that are familiar. There's a few new names. There's a few names that I haven't seen in the trailer yet, but are supposedly confirmed for this that we got through this. So obviously we've got Tom Hanks as Woody, Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear and the Buzz Lightyear Army, which is what's making me more convinced that these Buzz Lightyears are the Buzz Lightyears from Al's Toy Barn, and I'm gonna hold that till this film comes out. I just love how I've just come up with that theory in like half an hour.
What someone from Pixar stumbles upon this video and are just like, how?
How did we not think of this?
No,
How did he get it?
imagine they have done that, and it's like, how did you know this?
It's just my brain clicked in. We've got John Cusick as Jesse, so we've definitely got the main trio have the original voice actors. We have coming back. We have, as I've mentioned, John Ratzenberg is voicing Ham, which I'm so glad about, because if you in the know with Pixar films, Ratzenberg's done pretty much every Pixar film up till he was in every film till Onward. Took a bit of a break with those films were sold to Lightyear. I can't remember if he's in Lightyear or not, but he came back for Inside Out 2 because I remember cheering when I heard his voice in the cinema. Was like, I know that voice.
No, it's
You cannot escape me.
It's the same guy who voices Rex. Like, of Disney films he's been in is unbelievable.
Yeah, we've got Wallace Shawn is back as Rex. We've got Blake Clark, voicing Slinky Dog. We have Bonnie Hunt is back as Dolly. John Hopkins as Mr. Pricklepants. Kristen Schaal as Trixie. Interestingly, we've got Keanu Reeves voicing Duke Kaboom again, which I'm finding interesting.
Canada's great, obviously.
Yeah, we've got I'm just going back out. We have Tony Hill is voicing Forky again. We've got, interestingly, and I don't know how much she's going to be in the film, but Annie Potts is voicing Bo Peep. Be interesting to see how much she's in it, because I don't think you're going to see too much. I think that scene when Woody's on the walkie-talkie to Jesse, I think there's going to be the bit where he gets off the walkie-talkie, he turns around and talks to Bo Peep, and she's the one that says, you need to go back. I think. Probably.
Yeah.
You're probably going to see that. And you're probably going to have Bo Peep. And maybe, this is just hopeful wishing, maybe Bo Peep starts rounding up all the toys from the original films. So your Etch-a-Sketch, your Wheezy, RC, all those toys that were in the original bedroom to come back, which I really want. We've got Ernie Hudson's voicing Combat Carl. We have Scarlett Spears is voicing Bonnie again. Then we start getting into the new characters. Obviously, we've got Greta Lee's voicing Lilypad, the main villain of the film. Conan O'Brien is voicing a character called Smarty Pants. And before we saw the toy, that because I originally some of these names that I saw, I thought were going to be apps on Lilypad because it kind of made sense for them. So Smarty Pants, I originally thought was going to be like a numbers or like learning game on the app, like an app on Lilypad, because we've got Craig Robinson voicing a character called Atlas. Hence, again, I thought would be like a geography game on Lilypad. And Shelby Rabara is voicing Snappy. I thought it might be like a Snap game, but we've seen in the poster there is another dinosaur, so that must be Snappy. And there's a character called Blaze that's voiced by Michael Michelle Harris. I've probably butchered that first name. And a character called Dr. Nutcase, voiced by Matty Matheson. So there's some interesting names here, and I'm going to dive into the next thing in a second. The only other cast member we've got is Anna Faris, who's voicing a to be announced character. So there's still some uncertainty of how many characters are in this film. I'm going to throw this out there that Ducky and Bunny might have a small few lines. We don't know yet, but considering the characters that they're associated with are in this film, supposedly, you're going to see them. And then we get before I jump onto the potato heads, we have Bullseye, Buttercup, and the little green men are likely to appear. We know Bullseye will, but Bullseye doesn't speak, so there isn't going to be a voice active for Bullseye. I don't know if Jeff Garlin is going to be doing Buttercup or the aliens, as he has done, so we'll see what happens there. And then we get to the oh, I've forgotten Karen Beverly. Melissa Villanueva is voicing Karen Beverly. So that is your entire cast. And now I'm going to talk about the potato heads because there's been a lot of debate surrounding this film. When Toy Story 5 got first announced, we weren't sure what they were going to do about Mr. Potato Head because Don Rickles sadly passed away before Toy Story 4, and they managed to do archive recording for Mr. Potato Head in Toy Story 4. And then during the production of Toy Story 5, Estelle Harris, who voiced Mrs. Potato Head, sadly passed. So we haven't really had chance to really see, are they going to do archive recording? Are they going to recast? And they've recast for Toy Story 5. And John F. Bergen is voicing Mr. Potato Head, and Anna Volcanio is voicing Mrs. Potato Head. And I'm kind of glad that they've recast because I feel like there's not enough archive recording for them to use, and that's why they've done this. I wonder what your thoughts are on this.
I think it's probably a better idea to recast, mainly because there's only archive footage you can use, and if you try and tell a new-ish story and have certain lines that maybe they haven't normally said in the past, it's going to be quite difficult to kind of generate a sort of like archive of that. So realistically, it kind of gives two people a chance to be Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. Hopefully, as long as they do the voice correctly, like they pay a homage to the original voice actors of Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head in terms of kind of recreating the sort of the voice that they had and the kind of wittiness that Mr. had and the sort of like I'm trying to think of the kind of word for it that Mrs. Potato Head kind of brought. It was kind of like a concerning.
I know what you mean.
A concerning mom kind of, like sort of attitude she kind of had in the sense of like her voice and stuff like that, and sort of references that she made during like Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3. And
I also kind of, as much as we want to pay homage to these actors who play these roles, you kind of go, well, they can't really have much of a role, and the Potato Heads have been a massive part of those, especially in the first one. Mr. Potato Head's such a big role. If this is kind of like the swan song to these characters, allowing Mr. Potato Head to have such a more of a role than they had in the last one just allows that. And I think people forget that Pixar have done this before. This isn't with certain characters. Like Slinky Dog is a prime example because if they could easily have retired Slinky Dog after his actor died, but they brought in Blake. They did it. On another note, they did it with Fillmore in Cars because George Carlin passed, and they brought in another actor, and I can't think of his name. Obviously, they didn't do that for Doc Hudson because you couldn't really. I don't think anyone else could really have done that role.
No, I feel like
to it.
Doc's voice was so distinctive. It would be quite
Mm,
hard to kind of find someone else who could kind of do something very similar.
yeah, and another prime example of this is Ernie Hudson's voice in Combat Carl, because Carl Lumbly, not Carl Lumbly, he died last. Yeah, I can't remember his name. I'll put it in the comments because people will be screaming
Yeah,
now, going,
I'm
"I
trying to
know who
think as
you're
well.
on about. It's him." Obviously, do your research. Screaming at me right now. But yeah, he died. Who voiced Combat Carl in the other Toy Story shorts? So that's another thing where I'm like, Pixar have done this.
Mhm.
I 100%, when they first started doing this and they knew that they didn't have these characters, I bet you they had interns, researchers for months trying to see if they had anything, and the likelihood is they probably didn't, which is why they've gone down the recast
Or,
route, and it allows them to have much more of a role.
at least they may have had some, but probably not enough to use in the full film.
Yeah, exactly, and I kind of get why they've done it, and I appreciate it, especially for these legacy characters that you kind of want to have a bit of a meatier role, because I think that was I think we're definitely going to see your Slinky, your Rex, your. I think those characters that had such prominent roles in the first few Toy Story films
Yeah.
that then got really not sidetracked a bit, but haven't had much of a chance. I think
Well,
you're
like
going to give them
one
their.
of my one of my favorite parts of Toy Story 2 especially was when they had Ham, Slinky, Mr. Potato Head, and Rex go into Al's toy
Mhm.
barn. This sort of side
Oh,
quest
that's
away from.
iconic.
It's like it's such an iconic thing, and like the fact that we need a scene very similar to that where they have like that. It's like it's obviously not the main three and Woody, Buzz, and Jesse, but you kind of have this like
Hmm.
sort of side where you've got Ham, Slinky, Rex, and Mr. Potato Head
Oh my
kind of
god!
work
I tell you,
well.
I tell you what, I would love. I would love. See, if if we're going back to Al's Toy Barn, I would love it if the only person in that place is Tour Guide Barbie. Bring back Tour, and she's just going, and here we go past the iPad section. This one was built in
Yeah,
2010.
that would be hilarious. Oh, that would be so funny having freaking tour guide
And it's
Barbie try them
yeah,
around Al's toy barn again.
the end credit of Toy Story 5 is just Tour Guide Barbie going, in this release we would bring her back.
Bring bring tour guide Barbie back.
Because that entire sequence of Toy Story 2 is so beloved. And I know we keep harping on Toy Story 2, but there's so much of this film that feels very Toy Story 2 about it, in a sense, that we'll
Yeah.
discuss in a bit, because there's reasons that we're skating around at the moment. But I kind of would I love in the parks to get, the cones, because they have it in other parks where they have
Yeah.
the toy. 'Cause I don't understand why that's not in one of the. Because I remember seeing that at Hollywood Studios at one point. That had them in.
Ironic. There's a T-shirt I seen. I can't remember what it was. It was about Etsy or something like that. But it was like the Abbey
Yeah.
Road thing. But it was like, but it was them with the cones
Yeah,
going across
yeah.
the
I,
street.
yeah. I don't know if you've seen in Do you know in Carsland, the Corsicorn,
Mm-hmm.
in the motel? There's a If you look in the window of the place where Sally goes in. This is it. This is in there. There's a corn with Buzz's feet. So it's in Carsland. They have a little Easter egg of it.
That's
I'll try and
class.
I'll try and find it and send it to you. But I remember someone showing it to me, and I was like, that's cool. But I
Mhm.
would love if we kind of get that kind of level of us escaping, because that is such an iconic sequence, and if we get some reference of that, would be brilliant from that film.
Like I seen the video, I was like, I'm gonna have to get that T-shirt.
Hmm. Yeah, it's so iconic, and that entire
Mhm.
sequence where you think, is Mr. Potato Head gonna die? Because
The,
he's stuck.
the chewing gum, yeah.
Yeah, and that entire film, the chase at the end with the Pizza Planet truck.
Mhm.
Mm, I'd love to see that again. Like it's sort of
Yeah,
similar thing, because we seem to be. I don't know how much of this seems to be, but there seems to be a bit of a car chase in Toy Story 5, because they're climbing onto the back of Bonnie's car. So
yeah,
Pizza Planet truck, and I also kind of feel like if you really want to pay homage that to the first film, the Pizza Planet truck and Pizza Planet in general is so integral that it
yeah.
can't not be in the last. If this is
But
the
in like
last one,
the case of
kind of needs to
no,
be
'cause,
in
like
it.
Pizza Planet was kind of like an arcade as well,
Mm,
and arcades aren't exactly the most popular things anymore either, alongside toys. So I wonder if it's like gonna stumble across the point of where Al's toy, something kind of similar to Al's Toy Bomb, where Pizza Planet isn't really very popular anymore.
yeah, and then the Pizza Planet truck that they find is like a really old, like broken down.
Yeah,
Because yeah, because they use Uber now. Uber
yeah.
delivery. No, they tell you
I
what would
think
be like.
most companies would bring that back, where they would have like their own delivery car and stuff like that, like Pizza Planet had, where they had their own like stable car and stuff like that. But now it's just like some bloke in a bloody Nissan Migra.
Bring it back. I know. I tell you what, I'd love to see. Obviously, harking back to the first film is some Dynacore. The Dynacore oil station would be cool.
Yeah, the Dynaco oil.
Hmm.
The
I'd love
reference.
to see it. There's just so much you could do with it that you're like,
Mm-hmm.
let's bring it all back. And I think, in terms of trailer, I think it's a really good trailer. I think that you're going to see a lot of people saying it's not for me. I don't really know if I need a Toy Story 5. But I think, in terms of story that we're going to touch upon in a minute, because we're going to get into spoiler territory, because there's something in there that if you're eagle eyed, you'll be able to work out. But I think, if I'm giving overall thoughts, I'm excited for it. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
going to do brilliantly at the box office in terms of numbers anyway. I think it's got a real chance of being a really emotional story if it's getting done right in the way that we feel like it is from this trailer. And I think I walked away from the trailer feeling so emotionally excited for it, and I wasn't expecting to be hit so hard with feels from it.
Mm-hmm. As well, I mean, if you're looking at statistics, anyways, like the trailer already has got an 11.8 million views, which is
Mm,
like insane.
yeah, and that tells you a lot from it. Screen potentially. I'll try and see if I can do it. I'll add a spoiler warning. I'm just saying this to myself for editing purposes. But I am going to just give everybody a minute of now. We are going to talk spoilers. A quick. It's not
Should
too
we like
much spoilers, but there
like
is
this timestamp?
sequence.
Should we like go to this
Yeah,
timestamp
I'll
if you want to spoiler?
yeah. Well, I'll put it in the notes. Go to timestamp of whatever the timestamp of the in outro will be, of
Yeah.
wherever we stop talking about spoilers. But at this point, at this point, if you are listening and don't want to be spoiled, you have a minute to leave, to just pause whatever you're doing, come back at whatever mark it ends up being.
Just
Well, I'm
edit
very
it.
new to doing this.
Just edit the number
Yeah, I'll
here.
edit it across.
Right here.
Yeah,
So
do
right
that again.
there.
Yeah, fab. Right, here we go. So, as we've both noticed, and I messaged you about this because
Mhm.
there's been a lot of talk with Toy Story 5 because we know it's very Jessie heavy. The Emily of it all, of
Yeah.
her old owner being in the film. Obviously, there's the long-standing theory that Andy's mum is Emily, which could end up being true. But there's there's been all these theories for years. There's always been that inkling because we knew how much Jessie was going to play into the story, and it feels so much like they're going to use that history of Jessie being abandoned and not being played about as much with this film because of the way they're using technology, and I think that's such a smart. And I thought about that when we first got that teaser, and we were hearing breadcrumbs. But if you want to go and look at the trailer, at the 1 minute 59 mark, there is a shot of Jessie being played with. This shot does not look to be Bonnie. It doesn't appear to be any of that. So the theory coming into this is Jessie being played with Emily. And as you've said to me, this is the shot from Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
What are we thinking?
There's obviously going to be, I feel like, the little backstory from Toy Story 2. There's going to be like an extension to that. And I feel like
Mm,
throughout the film, kind of showcase like extra bits of that depend on the situation that's happening in real time. So, for example, like when Bonnie's slowly stopped playing with Jessie and started playing with the iPad, there's going to be like a little flashback of this happening to her with Emily, etc., etc.
hmm Oh yeah. I
And it's
think we've both said this before. We're gonna cry if we hear any second beat of When She Loved Me in the cinema.
it's just going to be like, right, I'm sad now
mm,
because
honestly, it
it's
will
like
be.
so iconic for how much it like really takes your perspective of like if toys were sentient, which obviously they're not. Not like we would know. Um, in the sense of like if we do abandon them, obviously that means they're left alone and stuff like that. And their toys are all purpose to just have someone interact with them. And when they don't get that, then what happens next?
Mm, yeah, I totally agree. And I think, as I've said this before, and I said it in the 2026 Look Ahead episode that you can watch on YouTube and listen to on Spotify, that
Great.
this film only works with Jesse. It doesn't work with Woody and Buzz because they've already been through all these really deep character arcs that you really hearten on the history of the films. And I think that's why Toy Story 2 really works so well. It's because you get this fleshed out backstory, and that I just think it doesn't work with any other character to fight
No.
against technology than the character that's already dealt with abandonment issues constantly throughout their life.
Yeah, I do feel like Jesse being the main plot point of this was perfect by Pixar. And I feel like it was something that I feel like Woody and Buzz have a good part to play in it, but I feel like the main vocal point of having Jesse as that person to like be the one to take down the iPad is kind of more fitting.
Yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I really think it's a smart, really smart decision in terms of writing as a character arc. And that's why I love Andrew Stanton has been a part of these Toy Story films since day one, since the original creation of the original idea for Toy Story, when it was a little different to what we originally got, which is completely fine. But he's worked on Toy Story 1. He's worked on Toy Story 2. He wrote and helped create the story of Toy Story 3. So he knows these characters. He's If you don't know and haven't listened to my episode where I did go through his caliber for why you should go through this film, he won the Oscar for Wall-E. He wrote and created Finding Nemo. So this man knows what he's doing with character development and growth.
I mean, to be fair, if there's anyone to do it, you might as well get him in to do it. Especially if this potentially might be the final Toy Story film, you might as well bring in him to like really give it an amazing send off.
Oh, I 100% agree. So there's been that bit of spoilery news, and then there was the other bit of spoilery news that nobody expected at all. That we've been chatting about, messaging about, going, is this true? Well, what's going on here? Lotso in Toy Story 5, potentially.
I mean, there's no
What are we thinking?
no like sight of him in the trailer. There's no hint that he's in it. However, a lot of reports, especially like toy wise, for like the upcoming films coming out, have all advertised Lotso. I don't know if that's just because it's Toy Story and because Lotso's such a marketable character.
See, that's what I was thinking when I first saw it, and there's a reason I forgot to mention at the beginning of this episode. The Pixar Mundo experience is now in the UK started on the 13th of February. In London, it's at Wembley. I'm going down in May to go and see it, and there's a reason why I've just remembered to mention that, because, and this might not be anything, but Olivia Drop Ready said, who was been to the one in Barcelona, that there's a second Toy Story room in the UK one, and this seems to be the Sunnyside box and Lotso. So now I'm like, hang on, is there something in this that he's in it?
I mean, if he is in it, I don't know how he would fit into the film, because unless he's went back to Sunnyside at the end. Do we see him go back to Sunnyside at the end of Toy Story 3? I can't actually remember.
What, he gets found at the dump by Sid and gets strapped to the recycling bin. But the thing is, though, it's not the question that Woody comes across Lotso as a lost toy over the years, and he's like, I don't expect him to have if he's in it, I'm not expecting him to have this big massive role. But what I kind of would like, this is my pitch, if he is in it, that you kind of have this redemption-y arc, not of like massive proportions, but say that the toys do find themselves in danger and Lotso does actually save them this time. I kind of wouldn't mind that, and then that's it. He's not in it all the time, the entirety of this film, but he's there for a little bit, gets them out of a scrape, and then that's him done.
Like he's in it for like a little bit of a segment of it, like to kind of like have that little bit of like a redemption arc. Even you could have like Barbie come back, because Barbie obviously stays. So doesn't Barbie stay at Rivers at Sunnyside with Ken?
Yeah, Barbie. But yeah, they're running Sunnyside at the end of Toy Story 3.
So realistically, you could technically have the toys back for that reason.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to a Sunnyside daycare like quick scene, because I'm not gonna like. It's not out of the question that Bonnie's mum's still working there. Yes, Bonnie doesn't go to Sunnyside daycare anymore, but you could still have Like,
reckon they, yeah.
mhm, yeah, and it's not as like Barbie and Ken haven't visited Bonnie's house before, Hawaiian
Mhm.
vacation.
Yeah.
So you could get them in for like a quick cameo. I wouldn't mind it. I'm not opposed to
Hmm.
it. Like I'm not opposed to any of the toys being in. If this is the last Toy Story film, bring them all back. They don't
Yeah.
have to have
Even bring
massive
even
walls.
could even bring the ones back that Sid creates in the
Oh,
first one.
I'd love that. That would be such
With
a
like
good payoff.
the metal spider legs and stuff like that.
Yeah, it needs to be the portal scene from Endgame, but it's just the toys from every Toy Story film. They're all fighting against the technology.
Yeah.
It's just the lily pad going, who you and whose army, and it's just we have a lot.
Oh no, what would be better is we have a Zerg.
Yes, we have a
Bring
Zerg.
Zerg back.
And I would love Zerg in it. I'd love a Zerg cameo.
Specifically the one from Toy Story basically goes like, Buzz, I am your father.
Well, if we get in that was like yeah back, we need that Zerg back too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, it's the lily pad should chase them through Al's toy barn, and the only way she stopped is tour guide Barbie going boom with the car on a tour guide.
That would be hilarious. Just you've got like the lily pad there, and then just out of nowhere, just the Barbie.
Yeah. And she's just like, oh, I didn't see you there. Let me take you to your shelf. Oh, it would be so funny.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
I kind of want that to happen now. There's so
Yeah,
many parts of it. I'm like, it's so cool.
there's so
Oh,
many references to make. Oh, as well. Speaking of Barbie, they better having like the credit scene where they've got the Barbies going bye bye now, bye bye.
yes, that needs to happen. And it's just sat there all the way through, even during when it's they get into location shoots, but obviously not
Yeah.
location shoots, but animated stuff. And it's just like, bye bye, you're still here. There's no end credit. Bye. And it's just a depreciation for everybody who's worked on a Toy Story film. I'd like
Yeah.
that.
And then you
If
have
I'm
the
gonna,
bloopers.
yeah, we want
Yeah.
the bloopers. Bring back the.
We need to have Toy Story bloopers again because that was hilarious when they done it when like Toy Story
Mhm.
1 and 2.
Yeah,
Was it? Did they do it in
I
Toy
wish they
Story?
hadn't
Was it
stopped
just Toy
doing.
Story 2?
Yeah, it was Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2.
Hmm.
Um, I can't remember if any of the other films have them.
I think they stopped it after a while. I think they stopped it before Toy Story 3 came out.
Yeah, there's definitely none then. Obviously, Cars doesn't have bloopers, but it has the tuners getting booted. You get
Yeah.
you have the Max scene at the drive-through where he's like, "It's the same voice," which is so funny because it's
Yeah.
just him voicing every version. Which is like such a neat joke for us fans because that's you playing in on the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's so many things that I'm like I really love to see it, and when it comes to Lotso, I kind of do think it might just be a fact of Lotso is marketable as strawberry, but I wouldn't put it past them just because I know how Andrew Stanton works and writes, and if we are delving into this abandonment storyline from Toy Story 2 that we had with Jesse, you kind of can get the ideas of the Lotso being abandoned by um
Yeah.
his owner and then just being replaced instead of, so there's that kind of level where I think, you know what, actually, from a story point that I don't think most people have delved into, is actually Lotso and Jesse are very
Very
parallel,
similar.
but they took two completely different paths in how
Mm-hmm.
they dealt with it. And Jesse could have gone a similar way to Lotso, but she did. I've never actually thought about that before
Yeah.
till sitting about it now. I'm thinking, you know what? Actually, there is two very similar levels of abandonment here. Yes, Lotso's owner didn't mean to leave him, but
Mm-hmm.
he still took it that way, whereas Jesse actually was given away and left. So actually, there's some very nice parallels to think about there that actually could play into this film, and I kind of
Mm-hmm.
think they will play into this film.
I think it will be a good, especially if they're bringing Lotso back. I feel like it will be a good like parallel to have
Mm.
that sort of reference in it, in the sense of like Lotso and Jesse both understand what abandonment is like, but they took
Yeah.
two different routes of how to deal with it.
Oh my god! I've just worked this out here, right? So as you're talking about the Jesse Lotso thing, right? And if he did come back and did have this kind of redemption-y bit, that then leads to him actually saving them this time instead of leaving them, is that you have
Mm-hmm.
that kind of Jesse Lotso relationship in that parallel that allows them to connect, and it's because of Jesse that Lotso then change it. Actually, that could really work if that is the story there
Yeah,
underneath.
yeah, that could
Mm.
actually really, yeah.
It actually could work,
I wonder if they might actually
and
do that. To
maybe
be
it
fair,
is.
it's Lotso is, isn't it?
Yeah, I kind of think, and I kind of hope that in the like teasers that we get that go on the TV and stuff, you get your TV spots, that they kind of don't reveal anything from things that we don't know about that we're still trying to piece together, and you just get the same snippets of the trailer, because I really don't like that with trailers.
Yeah, like when they bring
Like, I don't
teasers
want to
out,
know.
just like it's just snippets from the trailer.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to harp on Marvel, but I really don't like especially in the last few years, of the final trailer revealing a character that you didn't know was in the film.
Yeah,
That annoys me, especially
and
especially
it's
with
like,
Daredevil, not Daredevil, Deadpool.
yeah,
Mm,
it's like they could have left it to like literally until people sat down in the cinema to realize
yeah, and
Wolverine was it.
yeah, I tell you what, the one I'm talking about is, do you know X23 was in the Daphne Keane was in the final Deadpool trailer, and the reason it got me so annoyed is because she's the last one of that group of the Gambit, Blade, Electra. She's the last one that you get introduced to. So why put her in the? That annoyed me.
Yeah,
So if you're listening, Pixar, don't put anybody in the trailers that we don't know are in the film.
leave everything to the action.
Because this film sells itself on the characters and cast that you do have.
I mean, that's kind of how this whole Toy Story 4, to be fair.
Mm,
It was kind of just the case of like, well, it's Toy Story in it, so it's gonna do well regardless.
yeah, and I kind of think because I'm going to try and get out of spoiler territory soon, but I kind of think when it comes to Lotso, he was on stage when they announced Toy Story 4, so it kind of
Mm,
does think it could be just part of marketing because he is really easy to market. But
yeah.
then again, harking back, we have seen Lotso in Toy Story 5 packaging. We didn't see Lotso in Toy Story 4 packaging, so that's another thing
Mm,
of I don't know
yeah.
potentially. I'm gonna keep this part of this bit spoiler just because I don't know how much of it is true, how much of it's not true. But I think compared to Toy Story 4, Toy Story 5, there's been more looks at Toy Story 5 with him on marketing and stuff compared to Toy Story 4, where he was just on stage at D23 and that was it. So I think there's a bit more weight to him being in 5 because you've seen him on front of packaging. I think there's something there. And that's why I'm thinking there might be a bit of a meatier role. But it isn't too meaty, but there's certainly some substance to why he's on the it's an interesting one that I think you kind of have to decide, do you think he's in it? Do you not think he's in it?
It is a weird one to think of, like, I feel like we're just gonna have to. I feel like the final answer will be either Pixar gives with the answer, or we're gonna have to wait until the film comes out.
I want to wait till June 19th
Yeah,
when it comes out.
that's ideal. That's the ideal scenario. Wait until the film comes out and then find out then.
hmm I would much prefer June 19th to know what that film is gonna do and who is in it, because I think that would be such a great surprise if they manage to keep that. I think they're doing so well in not saying Emily's in it,
Yeah,
because obviously you can't really market the Andy you can't really market them as toys. You can with lots of, so there's a bit of a I think before we get out of spoiler territory, I think the one thing I don't want is I don't want a Lotso Funko Pop to be. I don't want the Funko Pops to really reveal something.
I feel like they should wait to release the Funko Pops until after the film's premiered.
They need to, because I know I harp on about this if you're still listening about the Funkos, but it really annoys me when you're trying to keep a character secret and then the Funko Pop comes out and you're like, oh, great.
It's
That was nice.
there.
hmm I know it's not their fault because they've been told to market it, but I do not understand why Sentry from the Thunderbolts had a Funko Pop and we still don't have a Thunderbolts Ghost Funko Pop.
Yeah,
yeah, it's
that kind of makes
interesting.
no.
Mm, it makes no sense. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Funko. Please don't, because I love you, Funko. I love Funko Pops. Just look behind me,
Was
Funko.
that was that a
If you're listening,
try to have a Funko Pop sponsorship?
I'm not at all asking for it.
This is straight onto Disney, sponsored by Funko.
But no, I do think there's certainly some more weight to it, and we'll dive into non-spoilery stuff now because I think I'm intrigued to see what they do with the parks with Toy Story 5 in terms of how they like cross-market it. Because I wouldn't mind the Midway Mania sort of update.
Mm.
Like if you add some of the other Toy Story characters that you don't necessarily see in parks in there, like your Etch a Sketch, your Stretch, the snake would be nice. Unless I'm just thinking that the snake's already in there.
Is the snake already in there? I can't remember actually.
I can't remember if the snake's there or not. I know you have the big Etch a Sketch
I was going to say, I'm
on
pretty
the
sure that actually.
side.
Let's just say. Um, I'm sure the binoculars is already in there.
Yeah. Do we know if the Zerg in prison's been moved from Space Ranger Spit
Um,
in the update? Because I don't know. I haven't seen anybody talking about it. Because in
I
the gift
don't
shop you have the
think
big
so.
Zerg.
I don't
Because
think
that'd be
so.
a shame if you get rid of it.
No, I can't. I can't imagine they would get rid of it. Is this the one in
No.
Disney World?
Yeah, the one in Tomorrowland.
Oh, I wouldn't have a clue. We didn't get the chance to go on the ride when we went
Mm.
back in April. We'll be going on it
Yeah,
in June, so we'll find out then. But unless anyone
yeah,
who was already can tell.
yeah. If anybody knows, please put it in the comments because the last
Mhm.
time I went in 2014, it was definitely still there because I have photos of me and my sister stood inside with it, and I
Mm.
might try and dig them out somewhere because they're somewhere. There's some photos I'm trying to find for certain anniversaries this year that I'm like, they do exist somewhere, but I do remember that, so I wonder if that will still be there as part of the ride.
We didn't spend a lot of time in tomorrow. I mean, we went on Tron, we went on the People Mover, and then we went to the cafe with like the animatronic DJ.
Yeah,
Can't remember the name,
I can't
of it,
remember
but
that top of my head.
yeah. But we went to them. We didn't manage to go on Buzz. We didn't manage to go on the Carousel of Progression. We didn't
Hmm.
manage to go on just because of time and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I kind of want to see some. I kind of want to see something. I'd like to see the Rex meet and greet, kind of be around a bit more, other than just Jollywood nights would be nice, especially
Mm,
around June time would be cool.
yeah.
And obviously Hong Kong has had Bullseye out because obviously it's the year of the horse this year
Hmm.
over at them parks. So there's a lot of Toy Story that you could do, and I would really like to see some more character meet and greets from certain characters that I think fans would love. I know you
Something
can't.
I
There's
didn't
certain.
realize as well.
Mhm.
Something I didn't realize until I watched a YouTube video on Shanghai and Hong Kong, and I think Japan's ones as well, where the
Mhm.
the Toy Story land is exactly the same as the one in Disneyland Paris.
All right.
As in, they've got the same
That's
rides as so Paris, and I think at least Shanghai and Hong Kong. I'm not 100% about Japan's, but they have a RC racer and then a Sinky.
yeah.
That's just like the little kids one, and then that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel
It's
like there needs to
because
be more.
he's not normally the type to just copy and paste lands very often.
No.
So to do it
Hmm.
in 3 different parks is mental.
Yeah, that's an interesting one to note. I'm like, very cool. And I kind of think that really wraps up our Toy Story 5 trailer debrief. That kind of went a bit off the rails, but that's what we do on this podcast.
I was
We
about
go
to
on
say,
a tangent.
I don't have a script in front of me. Like, was
No,
that ever meant to be? Oh, of course not.
no, of course not. The only script episodes are the ones with the films. These are the
Yeah.
fun ones. So, Tom, where can people find you?
Tom O2 Disney on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Bob, please go and give him a follow and a subscribe on all platforms. So, just for a friendly reminder, you can follow me on Instagram at StraightOnToDisneyPod, and you can email me your thoughts at StraightOnToDisneyPod@gmail.com. Thank you all for listening, and bye!